Good evening, my friends. First of all, a huge shout out to our most awesome God who is so very, very good to us. And also a big shout out to my techie, my son Jackson, for making this video available to you. This is something I could never do on my own. If I could be any place right this moment, anywhere on the planet, I would be with you, gathered with you at the church we all love and serve, Trinity United Methodist Church, gathered in our Lowry Worship Center for the well. The well. Well, we can't. And that's a reality that we all have to accept. It's just simply the new normal. It's not something any of us want, but it's what we need at this particular time in history. Now, I want to say that social distancing, important as it is not a simple thing for me. I think you know that. It's not in my DNA. It's not in my personality. It's just simply not in my nature. I'm not hardwired that way. I always want to be with God's people. There's no greater joy I experience, no greater delight than to be with God's people. At all times, in worship, in meetings, special events, I particularly love the well. What happens at the well? Those of you who attend know exactly what happens at the well on Wednesday evenings at 5:30. We begin by watching people gather. That's so important, whether it's worship or event, watching the gathering of God's people come together in community to be vitally connected. Now, the way this plays out at the well, and this is something I love so much, and it is anything but social distancing. The well may be a lot of things, but social distancing has nothing to do with it. This is where we come to embrace one another with the love of Christ, to shake hands, to hug. Now, this was back in the day, before the new normal became a reality. But it was such a joy, and it's something I look forward to again. It is going to happen again. We are going to be able to gather again for the well. We just don't know when yet. Now, here's the thing that I love. I love so much to watch the children. On any given Wednesday night, we probably have 40, 45 children, and nothing delights my soul more and makes me laugh more than seeing these little kids, these little people of God, running around, laughing and hugging each other, and seeing blue cupcake frosting spread all over their face, and then they go up and try to give their mother or father a kiss, and the kiss is very, very lovingly and patiently declined until the face is cleaned up. But it's just so enriching. What we've done, this happened, I'm not even sure, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. We were sitting together as a staff, and I said something about this story. I think it was a sermon I would be preaching on Jesus' encounter with a woman of Samaria at the well, at Jacob's well. Read John chapter 4 in its entirety. I'm going to focus on John 4:14. Write that down or commit it to memory. John 4:14. It has to do with living water. Yeah, you know, theologically and biblically, I love the way Jesus elevates and pays very close attention to those who are the most vulnerable, those who are marginalized. Jesus, in this story, elevates the status and role of women. That's one of the things he does, and he crosses borders and boundaries. A male Jewish rabbi in his time was not to be seen publicly with a sworn enemy, the Samaritans, and especially a female. It just didn't happen. Well, he went to Jacob's well. He had been journeying, and he was thirsty. And so he stopped. He saw this woman at the well, and he said, "I need something to drink." And she said, "How in the world can you ask me? You're a Jew." this sort of thing is not done. He said, if you knew who it was asking you for a drink of water, you would have asked him for something more, and that would be living water. Read that in John chapter 4, verse 14. Christ our Lord calls us to trust and believe that he gives us the water of life. He is the water of life, who will quench our spiritual thirst forever and for all eternity. So here's what we do at the well. We meet people where they are. And we don't judge. We don't exclude. With open arms, we welcome everyone in. See, that's what Jesus did. Don't ever miss that point. In this encounter with the woman of Samaria at the well, he knew that she was a woman who, like all of the rest of us, had made many mistakes in her past. She had made many of them. You've made them, I've made them, but Jesus meets us where we are. And he doesn't count our trespasses against us. He just doesn't. He meets us where we are, and he says, come and follow me. I will show you a more excellent way to live. And so that's what we enjoy at the well. We meet at 5:30. A delicious meal is always served up. Everyone is filled with joy, having a great time. And then the kids always go back and forth a little bit about, are we going to sing the Table Grace, Johnny Appleseed or Superman, and then we all sing together. And then Vinny takes all the kids off to their rehearsals, and Dr. Thomas and others take students off to their classes. Tawny takes the choir off to rehearse to produce the beautiful music that they always give to us. It is a time that will fill your heart with exceeding joy. There will be a time when we'll do away with this social distancing. But in the meantime, thank God we can at least connect in some way. Again, I want to thank my son, Jackson, for being my technical director, producer, and also my wife, Martha, who has helped me figure out a lot of this stuff. We're going to stay close in touch. For now, read this story, John chapter 4. Read it with your kids and understand the profound meaning that it has for our goal of making it our aim to please the Lord by creating new spaces for new faces. And that's what the well does. Thank you so very much for your time and your attention. And I will see you soon.